Let's move on to Seattle, Vancouver.
Fun one. A game that Seattle must show up at. And I feel like when Seattle needs to show up in games, they show up in games. And we've seen that in the playoffs because they can scrape through, just make the playoffs. And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we got to win this game or we're done. Seattle shows up and they win everything.
Very fair.
So if there was ever a time in this tournament for Seattle to show up, it's now because if you don't, you're done. And that would be massively disappointing. I mean, I know we were kind of making an analogy about Orlando being like Russia from the World Cup. If Seattle don't show up, this is the equivalent of Germany.
Absolutely.
Your last champion's going out in the knockout round. That's really bad.
What a phenomenal,
I mean, the group stage.
What a phenomenal comparison, Connor. That was awesome. Really.
Yeah, that's your Germany right there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You don't want to be that. This is a game that you could very easily win. I mean, if you watched any bit of Vancouver play San Jose, that was a disaster. And I know that they scored 3 goals, but I'm really still not sold on that attack at all. I mean, Ali Adnan had a really nice goal to start the game. Then Vancouver's second goal was a extremely messy fast break that should have been a super easy goal, and they complicated it as much as possible. And then kind of they honestly got lucky that San Jose just booted it in their own goal.
Yeah.
And then the third one was just a gift by Vega. Like early Christmas in July. Here's your free goal. God. And then defensively, I don't know if there's a word to describe how bad they were defensively. 4 goals against San Jose. That alone is pretty bad. But the way they just defended was so bad. I mean, 2 goals off corners. You got to fix the set pieces. The Wando goal was awful as well. I mean, the deflection up in the air, and then everybody on Vancouver was playing freeze tag apparently, and they just didn't move. Wando's wide open in the box, and then just easily puts it away.
I wouldn't even say easily. He almost missed it, and it still went in the goal.
Yeah, you're right.
The single most Chris Wondolowski goal of all time. Him going up, barely touching a header, having it cross the line. He's got like 170 goals for that exact reason.
Well, I guess easy in the terms that he wasn't defended at all. But yeah, goal's a goal. Doesn't really matter. And then Shea Salinas channeling his inner Lionel Messi, cutting through the entire defense to win it in extra time. I mean, in injury time. So a lot of bad for Vancouver in their first game. Not a lot of good. I feel like they're really missing out on their strikers. And I'm curious to see if Reyna steps it up in this next game or if he's going to play like he did in the last one. So for me, when Seattle needs in a game that Seattle needs to show up, I think there's way too much talent on this team. They will get it together, and at the very least, I think they'll scrape by with a win. But I think this has the potential to be an ugly game. So I'll say Seattle 3, Vancouver 1.
All right. I want to add on to that the fact that I have told Adam Tamburello time and time again, Yordi Reyna is not a striker. I don't care how fast he is. I don't care how quick he is, how nimble he is. He is not a striker. Proven today, or last game, right? Proven last game that he is good behind. He's like a number 10. Withdrawn, stay behind, let players run past him and set them up. He doesn't have what it takes to be the number 9 there. And I'm not sure that he'll bring it out, but I also am not sold on Seattle.